Hey guys, Ian here again, and I'm doing another commentary on everyone's favourite Hellsing Hater Doug8798. Now, this is responding to his recent-ish video called Why I Don't Like Hellsing. Now, I know there is a second part where Doug bashes on Hellsing further, but honestly, it was just mostly the same as he did in the last one, and I just couldn't be bothered to do it. But if you really want to see someone do a commentary on it, check out Evina, aka Detective Zombie's commentary on it. Oh well, let's begin with this one.
This was supposed to be my third rant on the Hellsing series, but for several reasons, but for a few reasons, I decided against it. This was also supposed to be my apology to the Hellsing fans for my rant on the Hellsing series, but once again, I decided against it.
You were gonna apologize, but now you're not? Doug, if you were never gonna apologize to the Hellsing fans, then why the hell you say you were thinking it? Really comes off across a little dim.
Instead, this is gonna be a video about me telling you why I don't like or care for the Hellsing series.
Well, that's fine if you don't like Hellsing, but your previous reasons were, well, stupid. And you weren't even paying attention to Hellsing when you were watching it last time. So, can you blame people for not trusting your review?
But I won't be doing this in character. I won't be doing this in the Doug the Angry Reviewer character.
Excuse me for this, but I call bullshit. Doug, when you were doing your rants on Hellsing before, you sound the same when you were doing your previous rants. It's like that so-called Gyro character when he does his rants. Well, that's another story.
Okay, brief history. I first heard about Hellsing in the Yu Yu Hakusho abridged series by Lampinator and Lampinator and those guys in one episode.
Get on with it.
One of the characters says Hellsing was better than the wrestling manga Ultimate Muscle. Now, Ultimate Muscle was one of my favorite animes and mangas. So when he said that, that really pissed me off and kind of made me hate Hellsing right there.
Hang on, because of this scene?
What is this crap? Duel Masters? One Piece? Ultimate Muscle? They suck. I asked specifically for Yu-Gi-Oh! Berserk and Hellsing.
Wow. Poor judgmental there. I'm taking something seriously as a joke. Wow.
Kind of made me hate Hellsing right there. Then I started hearing more about Hellsing when Twilight started becoming popular in late 2000.
Ramblin'.
9, around the time New Moon came out. Hellsing, people were just coming on videos talking trash about Twilight, saying Alucard Pones Edward. If you like Twilight, Alucard Pones Edward. Hellsing sucks. Twilight sucks.
Okay, I have to say this. Will you please edit your videos so you're not repeating yourself? Or can you actually note out or script what you need to say? You're very not... Yes. You're not very good at ad-libbing. And I'm using a script myself because, well, when it comes to when I need to think of something on the spot, I'm not very good.
Hellsing is better, and just picking on the Twilight fans and bashing people who like Twilight, and I didn't appreciate that. So I decided to respond by bashing Hellsing, by bashing and ranting on Hellsing.
But the difference between most of those videos, Doug's, and yours is that those had legit criticism towards Twilight, unlike your Hellsing one, which I've pointed out my reasons why you're wrong. And in all honesty, that is not a decent reason to rant against something you know nothing about.
Now, like I said before, was me ranting on Hellsing, was that wrong? Yes. Was that wrong? Yes. Am I sorry for it? No.
Were you wrong? Yes. Will you admit that you're wrong? Yes. Are you going to be stubborn about it and not say you're sorry? Absolutely.
Am I sorry for it? No, because I think the Hellsing fans, I think most of the Hellsing fan base are arrogant assholes.
How? Elaborate, damn it, it's not that hard.
And I decided to do something about it, and I decided to rant on Hellsing. But I will say, I don't hate Hellsing like I gave the impression, like I did in when I did my Doug the Angry Reviewer, Doug the Angry Reviewer Hellsing rant. But I, however, do not like or care for Hellsing.
Well, if you don't like Hellsing, I can live with that. There's nothing wrong with not liking Hellsing.
Some of the reasons I do not like Hellsing is the first reason I don't like Hellsing is because of how different it is from traditional vampires, yet it claims to be based on traditional vampires.
Compared to what? Twilight?
If you look up Wikipedia, the guy who created Hellsing claims he based this on Bram Stoker's
Bram Stoker, not Bam Stoker!
Dracula novel, yet this series is nothing like that.
Because of what reason? Alucard doesn't go to North Yorkshire, the last member of Hellsing is a woman, it has Nazi as the main villains. Oh, I'm sorry, didn't you ever see him?
Is nothing like that. Is nothing like that, and so I do not like the differences between this and the novel and movie that came after the novel in the 20s, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu was different because Prima Films could not get the rights for Dracula. In fact, that's what shut them down, according to Wikipedia. Oh, look at me, trusting Wikipedia.
That's the number one reason I don't like it.
Because it's nothing like traditional vampires. Stupid reason is always stupid.
The second reason I don't like it is because the character Alucard is supposed to be based on Dracula.
Well, how about you spell the name backwards? Shouldn't that be a big clue right there?
If you've seen Dracula, you know Dracula. First off, Dracula is not a freaking good guy. Dracula is a bad guy. Alucard, I've said this thousands of times, and I'm gonna say it thousands of times, and I'm gonna say it again. Alucard is a bad guy posing as a good guy.
Well, if you bother to watch Hellsing, you'll know why. But since you haven't, I'm gonna say it as clear as crystal. Alucard is a monster, and he admits this. And the reason why he's a good guy is because of one reason. He is the Hellsing's organization's bitch. And to add on to that last detail on the Hellsing organization, if you use Wikipedia to discover that Alucard is Dracula, then you could have used Wikipedia to discover more details on Hellsing.
There's really no reason why he's a bad guy, but for some reason he's on the good guy's side despite being Dracula, when in every version, in every series, Dracula was always a bad guy. He was always opposite someone else, whether it was Van Helsing or Blade or anyone. He was always opposite of someone else.
You know, there's a simple reason why Alucard is a good guy when he's posing as a bad guy. He's an anti-hero. Ever heard of them?
And now, if Alucard was pretty much created as his own vampire, like the vampires in Twilight.
Wait, you mean with characters like Pixie Prick here? Someone who let their girlfriend kill themselves over him?
Cirque du Freak, the vampire's assistant, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If he was created from his own thing or based on something else instead of the original Dracula, then once again, I wouldn't mind it so much.
You're an idiot.
I wouldn't mind it so much. I wouldn't mind this so much if Alucard was the villain. I wouldn't mind this so much if Alucard was the villain and Anderson.
What, you're only mentioning Anderson now? You've never mentioned Anderson before in your videos, so why now? Was it because I mentioned it?
And who I think was the best character in this series. Who I think is the best character in this series.
Wait 1 minute. You said Sarah's was the best character before. Now you're saying Anderson is? I'm calling bullshit again.
But No, Anderson instead gets owned by Alucard in a gunfight.
Have a look at this picture. This is Alucard getting impaled with bayonets. Who was it who was kicking whose ass again?
And that's my next thing. This is a vampire. This is supposed to be a modern day vampire series, which means I expect some slicing, some clawing, some biting, and then some hand-to-hand combat and grappling. Instead, I see instead in the first scene I see a bunch of gunfights.
There is more to this show than gunfights. Anderson uses bayonets to battle against Alucard, and he chops off Alucard's head. You can't chop off someone's head with a bullet. I'd like to see someone try, though.
This is not the Punisher. I don't mind a few gunfights, but when every scene is a gunfight, including Anderson versus Alucard, which is probably the best scene, even though I hate that scene too, once again, it's just a bunch of gunfights.
Blah blah blah, ignoring the stabbing, ghoul attacks, and bayonets that were used. Wait, bayonets were used? News to me!
I do not want to see a bunch of gunfights in a vampire series. I kind of want to see more hand-to-hand combat, sword fighting action if you have to use weapons, pretty much anything. I don't care whether it's a sword, a bat, or a mace. I don't care, but weapons combat, hand-to-hand combat, and grappling and slicing, clawing, and biting.
Okay, Doug, I'm really getting sick and tired of this so-called excuse. There is more to this show than gunfights in this series if you bother to watch it. If you're gonna rant on something, make sure you know what you're talking about. Otherwise, you're gonna look like a complete fool in front of your audience.
And Alucard, and also another thing I do not like about this, of course, I've voiced my disapproval of Alucard's transformation. I do not like his transformation. He looks more like a zombie than a vampire.
If you don't understand the difference between a vampire and a zombie, you are possibly too thick for words to mention. And doesn't that kind of interfere with your modern vampire crap?
And also, I don't like the fact that I read this on the computer. I just don't like the fact I also don't like the fact how he's virtually invincible. Yeah, the vampires are super strong, but I hear how he's invincible and can't be stopped, and he just bones all his enemies easily. I kind of want to see a struggle between good and evil, and you don't even get that here. He bones all his villains. He bones all his villains, all his enemies quickly. In my opinion, that's straight up boring.
Alucard is not invincible and he can die. In fact, he encourages it. But you'll never know that info from reading it online.
Well, that concludes my short little rant on Hellsing. Alright, I'm done.
And that is it. That is the last bit of this video. No silence at the end. Well, Doug, I have some final words for you. Number 1, edit your videos so you're not repeating yourself and script out what you need to say. Number 2, your logic for not liking Hellsing is just, well, lame. And finally, for the last time, like everyone else has said, watch Hellsing. And I mean more than one episode. The whole series. It's not that long. Anyway, I'm done. I've been Sion Craze, and that's all I have to say. See you guys later.